Okay, welcome back for another workout. We got a great workout here today, guys. Challenging workout, but starting with some announcements. Again, get on the nutrition train. If you did not start the challenge, start one on your own. Maybe just change one habit, or at least be mindful of what you're eating, guys. Allow yourself, maybe one less treat. So start challenging yourself with the nutrition, guys. Next virtual class is tomorrow at 11:45. So hopefully we'll see more of you guys in that class. I'm gonna pass it to you guys for the workout.
All right, so for today's workout, guys, 5 rounds, starting off with 12 sit-ups with that object toss. So for that, guys, let's pick like a ball, we can use a basketball, and a wall that you are comfortable with throwing an object to. So you're gonna do that sit-up. Every time you come up to the top of the sit-up, you're gonna toss that ball towards the wall, and then grab that ball and go back down into your sit-ups. It's gonna be a little bit more challenging on that core to come up a little bit more explosive, so you can challenge yourself with the height that you do it to, or the distance away from the wall. Just make sure every time you throw it against the wall, you're trying to get it back towards yourself. You don't want it to roll every time down. After those 12, you're going into those dips. So again, these dips, you can do them off pretty much anything. You can do them off chairs, off the side of your couch. We're trying to work on that chest and that bottom range of motion of that dip. So 9 dips there. If you need to break that up, let's go 5 and 4, for example. I would challenge you to try to see if you can do it unbroken, but 9 is slowly starting to get into that challenging range. So if you need to, break it up right off the bat. And then 6 and 6 dumbbell hang squat thing. So let's hang on to that dumbbell, kettlebell, or object the entire time in that hang position for all 6 reps on each side. If you're not comfortable with that squat clean, again, break it up, power clean plus a squat right after. 5 rounds here. I would say try and aim for at least 2 minutes at most per round. This is pretty doable for each 2 minutes to finish. So there's about a 10-minute workout going pretty fast. If you need that 3 minutes or going up to that 3-minute mark, we're gonna see you going around that 15-minute mark. So let's try to aim for that 10-minute, I would say average 12, and at most 15 minutes. Other than that, guys, I'm gonna pass it over to Eddie for the afterburner.
Afterburner, working on that core through the L sit. Now, if you can't do L sits, don't get caught up on the movement, okay? Think about doing the core static activation type movement. You're trying to accumulate 2 minutes. I would challenge you guys to approach it in a couple of ways, okay? I'm gonna give you guys 2 ideas. Let's say I cannot do L sits. I'm gonna go maybe 20 seconds hollow hold, 10 seconds off. Repeat that, okay, until I've accumulated 120 seconds of it. So that means 6 rounds of 20 on, 10 off. That way you're staying accountable to your rest and you're challenging yourself to create that contraction. Maybe the first round, 2 rounds, 20 seconds do not seem much. That's okay, because on the later round, things are gonna get a little warmed up, it's gonna get a little challenging. If you're not sure if that's somewhere you should start, try it. If that's too tough, adjust. If it's too easy, adjust. So you can always go up or down. So if it's too tough, I would then go 10 and 10. 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off. 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off until I complete 2 minutes, okay? If it was too easy to do the 20 on, 10 off, instead of reducing the rest, what I would do is go 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off, maybe even 5 seconds off, which would be really tough, guys. But I would increase my contraction and maybe leave my rest as is until I accumulate 2 minutes. If you're a champ and you can do a minute, you're ready for the next progression. Maybe it's not hollows, you're ready to start playing with some knee tucks or L sits, guys, okay? You can see more of this in that segment in our video.
Okay guys, today's warm-up is 3 rounds. We're starting off with 5 inchworm walkouts. So for that inchworm, just remember, try to keep the back of the legs nice and straight so you can feel that stretch in the hamstrings. You can round your back, that's totally fine. We're gonna walk out that inchworm. If you can keep going further and further, head through that window, rib cage in, squeeze your butt, hold it for a second at the bottom, and then walk it back out. So at the top, you're feeling that stretch in the hamstrings. You're warming up the shoulders by walking out, and we're even getting into that core tensioning as you walk the hands a little bit further from the body. Once you're done that, we're gonna go for 10 seated leg lifts. For the seated leg lift, we're just gonna sit down on the floor. You can bring your hands to start a little bit further backwards. Get that back and chest up tall. Pull that rib cage down so you feel those abs. And you're just gonna raise both legs as high as you can for 10 reps. This exercise is going to target your core and your hip flexors, so that little muscle at the top of your hip, top of your quad there. You're gonna feel that firing up as you go. If you wanna make it a little bit harder, you can bring your hands further forward. That makes it a lot harder to try to get those legs up as high. Play around with it. You can start with the hands a little bit further back. To make it even easier if you need to, you can bring your hands all the way back and build on those lifts. Once you're done that, we're gonna go for 10 shoot-throughs. So in a shoot-through, for now, I'm gonna show you guys using parallettes here, which is what we use at the gym for these. If you're at home and you don't have parallettes, a lot of you might not, you can use 2 chairs, so just hands on top of the chairs, 2 boxes, anything that you have lifted off the ground will do. So for that shoot-through, we're starting off at the top of the push-up, so you see that rib cage is in, back's nice and flat. You're gonna tuck the knees in, bring your legs through, and then I'm gonna tuck the knees back in and push back to that start position. So we're going for 10 of those, no push-up or dip at the beginning or end. After you've done that, we're going for a 20-second bottom of squat hold. So for some of you guys, it might be great for you to even use a post for this one or a door jam. For some of you guys, you don't need that. And either way, guys, we always say experiment with both if you can. So what we're trying to do here, using that post, you can just get your back and chest up really tall, sink those hips down low, try to get the back and chest up tall. You can rock gently back and forth. You can also try, again, doing this without holding your post or wall. You're just rocking a little bit, holding it for 20 seconds, trying to feel that core tension, and also trying to feel that hip opening up as you go. Enjoy today's warm-up.
Okay, 5 rounds today for the workout. Starting with finding yourself a ball or an object that you can toss against a wall that you're comfortable. We use an ab mat here for free to roll up a towel in your lumbar, so it supports your back. Depending on your object, you might be closer or you might want to go away from the wall a little bit more. If it bounces back off the wall nicely, go away. If it's maybe not, doesn't have a good bounce, get closer. You're going to do a full sit-up, so shoulders onto the floor, come up, throw that object to the wall. Back down, up, throw it, catch it. See if you can catch it. 1 here in control. If that's manageable, then catch it as you're going down. And catch it as you're going down. Go for 12 sit-ups. Now, when you've done your sit-ups, find yourself an object to do your dips. Whether it be chairs, stacking some things up to create a little kind of pocket to allow you to sit down or dip down, guys. Depending on your object, maybe your feet are in this position, or if you can extend them. If you are extending your leg, watch that your hip is not in front of your forearm. Try to keep your hip in line to your forearm, so that way your shoulder's in a proper position. You're gonna go down, back up. Those are your dips. For your dips, you're going 9 dips total after you completed the 12. Then you're finishing off with 6 dumbbell squat cleans. I'm using a dumbbell here, guys. Feel free to use a kettlebell. Feel free to use an object, a different object, guys, that you have at home, or even a barbell. If you're using a barbell, you're going for 12 in a row, okay? But if you use a single object, you're going to clean it, squat down, all 6 on one side. Say that's my 6th one. Then I'm switching sides. I'm trying to complete all 12 possible in a row by doing 6 and 6. But if you need a little break, once you've done the 6 on the one side, shake out those legs, then go 6 more on the other side, okay? find an object or a weight, depending on if you have options at home. If I'm using dumbbell, I would challenge you guys to do 50 for the guys, 35 for the girls. If you're using a kettlebell, I would go maybe a 20, 24 kilos for the guys, about 16 for the girls. If I'm using a barbell, I'm going for about 95 pounds, 65 for my weight, depending on what you have available at home. Again, the goal is to try to finish 5 rounds, 10 to 12 minutes for the entire workout. This is a 4-time workout, so good luck with it, have fun.
All right, so if you want 2-minute abs, you've come to the right place. So we're gonna do 2 minutes of that L-sit hold, guys. I'm gonna show you guys some different variations that you can do. Obviously that L-sit is pretty advanced to do, so we need to use some progressions to build up to it. So for that L-sit, guys, basically what we want to try and do is use those hip flexors, use those lower abs to kind of curl up into that V shape. So to start off, we can start off in our leg raise position with our hands back, and we can come up for that leg lift, so keeping both legs straight, holding this position. See if that's challenging. If this is challenging, use this progression for your L-sit today. If you want to challenge it a little bit more, obviously bring those hands a little bit closer, lift up. You guys can use that as a progression for your L-sit. So if you feel comfortable there, you can do those progressions, and you feel comfortable with the supporting with your body. You guys can, again, you don't have to use parallettes here. You guys can use chairs or any 2 supports. Make sure they're not moving, or they won't get out on you. So find those supports. To start off, you guys can go into that knee tuck position, so you don't have to go with your legs completely straight. So lock out those elbows, make sure you get good support on those PVC pipes, or sorry, the parallettes. Lift those knees up, keep the knees close, and then see how that is. If you find that's challenging, let's just stick to that progression today. If you find it's hard to hold for about the 10 to 15 second range, or even less, that's a good progression to work on. If you feel comfortable, you can start raising just one leg out in front, keep the opposite bend. That's one progression to work on to start to get to that full L-sit. Biggest thing here, guys, if you even start to build up to that full L-sit, make sure you're really pushing into those parallettes and staying locked. Sometimes you start bending at the elbows and losing that stability. You really want to focus on the core and those hip flexors to pull those legs up. So again, once we're in that position, staying nice and tight, pushing hard on those parallettes. 2 minutes, guys. Hopefully you guys get your abs after these 2 minutes. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the